we do is we protect businesses from themselves, pretty much.
Yeah, we were talking the other night, man. Just we were out, we were talking a lot about cybersecurity and all this stuff, and you were talking, before we got on today about a new client that you got, and it's amazing the breadth of what a technology company like yours can serve with a company.
Well, it's funny, when people think of cybersecurity, they're only thinking digital. And I was explaining to some people in that meeting that, you also have to think about physical and how I can get in from just right outside of the company. Sometimes I'll put on a coat and walk in and try to steal a laptop. One of the biggest problems is if you go into a medical facility, how many feet are you away from that computer at the front desk? Mm-hmm. All I have to do is stick a USB drive in there, and I've got control of their entire network.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know. You were on the opposite side of the table. You get to hear some of that stuff, man. We really had some things talking. So coming out of hopefully this pandemic, we're coming out of it and going back to normal. How did that affect your business in 2020, and how do you see things moving differently in 2021?
So 2019 was a record year for us. Okay. And so February 2020, it was looking like about a 30% growth.
Wow.
We ended up being about 5% under, but hey, it was a good year. So I wasn't too worried about it, and I really want to thank the clients that I have because they stuck with us. They kept their contracts, and if we were a break-fix solution, we wouldn't have been able to make it last year. But because of the contracts and the retention rate that we have on our clients, I mean, we have about a 97% retention rate for clients with us, 21 years.
Oh, wow.
So it works out real well. They're real loyal.
And I mean, how have you created 97% retention? I mean, it's not just a contract.
Well, it's what I do is I set, and I've talked about it before on this show, is that I set a 6-month turnaround to go visit clients. Mm-hmm. And I'm constantly touching base with them, just, finding out what's going on. And it's not only, for customer service, but you really want to have that interaction with the client and make sure that the owner of the company is facing the other owner of the company and making sure that they're taken care of. And I do that every 6 months. So, and plus the ROI, I'm kind of like Norm from Cheers. I walk in, they go, Fred, and then they start thinking of other projects, and it's profitable for us.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at a company we're talking to about coming in and helping them put together an internal operations system for growth, and they do a lot. They do technology. They service a lot of panels in the oil and gas industry, and they're terrified of the oil and gas industry right now. It's going to go away. It's going to leave us, and it's not going to be. And those of us who really know, it's, hey, look, we got some issues going on. Things are going to happen. But, I think that everything's going to stay the way it's going to change, but I don't think it's going to change in the next 6 months.
And it's not going away in our lifetime.
Ever.
I mean, really. It's
correct. Yeah.
We're too dependent. But we had to go, and we went to them and said, well, we need to pivot. We need to go into different industries. Mm-hmm. And one of my things that just popped up with Fred is, how often do you go in and visit your clients and talk to them, right, and let them know, one of the questions we ask is, what other things do people who you think are our competitors do for you that we could potentially do? Because if we've got that really good relationship, why not use this more?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, by me going in and visiting them every 6 months, I give a fresh outlook of new technology, AI that's coming out, things that are being tracked in cyber. Mm-hmm. So you really want to make sure that they're on the latest platforms and they're being protected. Now, I've got my guys constantly in their systems, making sure that they're protected and everything's taken care of. But we do a visit about every 3 to 6 months to make sure that they're on top of any technology that's coming out, especially with as many industries as I support. Mm-hmm. We're constantly in like 20 or 30 industries and reading the information that's coming out and making sure that they're on the right software and platforms that they need to be on.
I mean, one of the biggest things for me being a small business owner and holding on to a lot of the information that I do is I'm scared because I don't know what I should know about, the services that you provide and what are the solutions to the things I don't know I need a solution to.
Yeah, so one of the most important things when we go visit a first potential client is, what are you doing with your data? If something happened to the building and you drove up to the building tomorrow and the building was gone, could your business survive? And that's, a lot of people and a lot of businesses say no. I mean, all our data is in that building. And so we structure, different platforms so they can feel comfortable in leaving Friday and coming back Monday and knowing that that data is still going to be there, whether it's cloud-based, internal, hybrid. So you want to make sure that they're constantly protected. We've never lost data for a client because what we do is there's multiple redundancies in place within an existing client to make sure that they're taken care of. Multiple redundancies in-house and multiple outside. So you've not only got one in-house and one outside, you've got multiple.
Okay.
We talked about another show recently. We were talking about threats. And, here in Houston, we've got the threat of hurricane. We got the threat of flood. We've got all that stuff. And that's why having somebody, just what you said, what would happen if I come back tomorrow and my office isn't here?
So, well, you think about, the 3 days of the storm.
Yeah.
There was no power.
Right.
And so people are calling up, we have no internet. Well, you have no power.
Yeah.
So what we do is we can create and it's all contingent on a client's budget.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you can go in there, I mean, we can do everything if you have the budget for it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the deal is that we can schedule a flow chart to where, okay, this is what happened. This is where you need to go. We can go to the next city, county, state that has power, has internet, set them up within a hotel with conference rooms, with office space, and get them up and running. As long as we have a hybrid system that we can, get to the internet, they can get on and start working right away. And what's good, I mean, you can typically get away with a few things on your mobile device until you get to another location.
Right.
Yeah, I found out. Yeah, yesterday I actually lost my power cord, right? And I'm like, what do I do now the rest of the day? After 2 hours after I lost the power in my battery.
Right.
Well,
how did I function?
Something that everybody should take away from this is that use your mobile device. Don't connect to any Wi-Fi ever. Use your hotspot on your phone. That's just the biggest, one of the cybersecurity tips I can give you. So when you're out and about, bless you, when you're out and about, make sure you're connecting to your phone.
Your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to do that. When I'm working out, the only time I may connect to is if I have to go video.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I got to get on my video because it's taking so much.
Data, right? Or,
Sure.
Well, it's just burning my battery on my phone. To do that, but it's being able to understand these things. And I know Fred saved my ass a few times. I'm sorry about that, Jonathan. With computer going down, things happening. But I remember one of the best pieces of advice you gave me years ago was just a backup system. I think you recommended Carbonite. Hey, if it ever goes down and it's gone, we can get it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cheap for like $79 a year.
Yeah.
Why not put something on your computer that will back up automatically? You don't have to do anything to it. Just let it sit there and run. It protects all your data. The machine goes south, we can get it back for you.
wow. Okay, I need that.
You need that.
I need that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually need that.
And what's funny is I've got some machines that are backing up hundreds of gigs, and it's still on their single platform for $79. You can back up hundreds of gigs.
Wow.
And if something happens to that tablet, you can immediately get on your internet, log into their site, and get your data directly and work off their site.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I know. I'm going to be hopefully in the getting a new machine here in a couple months. It's just time. And Fred saved me last year when I was having all kinds of issues, and so that's what I'm thinking is how do I seamlessly keep working? It sucks when I get a new phone and I can't figure out all my passwords and everything. I just imagine. I started there thinking, what happens when my computer finally dies?
And make sure that the services that you get online, you're paying for them. You
Yeah.
don't want to get stuff for free.
Yeah.
Because you've got things like Google Drive. Well, have you ever talked to a Google representative? I haven't.
No.
So, you can be in some serious trouble if you've got your data up on Google. So
Yeah.
protect yourself.
Yeah, I know. I just started moving a lot of stuff to OneDrive. So I haven't paid for. I haven't upgraded to pay yet, and that's coming soon. Because I just found out, it's taking so much. We're shooting all these video and stuff now, and we're sharing it. You only got so much room on your laptop.
Sure.
And so where can I put it? That's
Well, most
cheap.
computer companies now are when you get a new computer, it's 256 gigs, 500 gigs. You don't have that space anymore because they're pushing you to get online and store information that way.
Yeah. So it's a new revenue model. Here
Absolutely.
It's the almost
revenue model,
well,
yeah.
it kind of goes back to I'll give you the
Software as
printer.
a service.
I'll give you the printer. You just buy the ink. I'll give you the computer. Buy the storage.
Yeah.
We'll save all your stuff. So we got like a couple minutes before going. Fred, what's the one most important I think you gave a great tip just a minute ago about always using your hotspot. What's one more tip you give a small business owner right now? Coming out of the stuff we've coming out of.
Is really, it's data. Data is the most important thing for your business. You really have to have a plan. Get an assessment of what your current systems are to make sure that everything that you're doing inside of your business is appropriate and make sure, because one of your biggest problems in business is your employees. And it's always a human problem that causes major problems. So you really have to have an assessment and make sure that you've got those things in place, so if something happens, you can protect yourself.
Andy, anything you want to finish up with this segment?
I've learned a lot, and I need to talk to Fred after this. But protect yourself, right? Know your threats and cover them.
Yeah, it is. So, Jonathan, you ready to take us out? Maybe? All right, there we are. This is Michael Rager, your business guide. We're going to be back with Andy Erskine and Fred Costa in just a minute. We're going to talk more about protecting your business, especially from the tech side.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Managing a property can take the time out of your daily life, where property owners and landlords can turn to an experienced and trustworthy property management company to take the stress out of renting. LDAP Management Services can make all the difference in renting a home, whether you are a landlord or a homeowner living in the U.S. or overseas. We can monitor the status of your rental property, and we can take care of any maintenance requests you may have. From accounting to tenant screening and maintenance services, we take care of it without you worrying about it. That's why individuals all over the world that are looking to invest in real estate in the Houston and the surrounding areas turn to us, because we are reliable, we're trustworthy, and we offer the highest level of services for your home. And if you're thinking of buying, selling, or leasing a property, LDAP Management Services can help you find that next great investment in the Houston and the surrounding areas by seeking properties and on and off the MLS. LDAP Management Services has been awarded the Award of Excellence by the BBB 6 years in a row, including 2 Pinnacle Awards, which is the highest award given. Additionally, having been a part of NARPM for well over 12 years, including the presidency of the Houston chapter in 2018. Call LDAP Management Services today at 281-894-8659 and let us take on the task of managing your properties with the highest level of standards.
Tremont Retirement and Healthcare is the senior living solution for seniors to remain active and engaged without all of the hassles and burdens of maintaining a home. Tremont provides residents, families with peace of mind in knowing that their parents have the extra care and support needed to remain independent. With our caring staff, a la carte provider services through Senior Allegiance, activity programming, meals, housekeeping, maintenance, and transport to doctors, so residents and their loved ones can return from a patient-caregiver relationship to a mother-daughter or father-son relationship that often gets lost in the shuffle. We have a long tenured team of senior living specialists who bring retirement living to a whole new level, as well as resident ambassadors who help new residents to get acclimated and to settle in. Tremont's multiple living options provide a one-stop shop to support senior folks who built our community in Houston. We offer 55 plus independent living apartments, Independence Plus featuring home health and home care services on site, assisted living, as well as inpatient skilled nursing and rehabilitation services. Tremont is also a great value as one of the only continuing care retirement communities offering monthly apartment rent rates with no buy-in or huge community fee for move-in. Let us help you find the best senior solution. Visit Tremont.com or call me, Kelly, at 713-816-2033 and come home to Tremont and let us be your next step to safe, active, and independence in your retirement years.
Hey, we're back. This is your business guide, Michael Razier. We've got Andy Erickson and our special guest today, Fred Costa. So, Fred, all right, we've talked a little bit about protecting your business and doing this stuff. You know, it's really funny today, the cyber threats that are coming out here. And what amazed me is, I want to go, something that happened to me today was how good these people are. I got something today from, I can't remember if it was AT&T or somebody about my SBC Global account, that I needed to put a backup on it. And I'm like, man, there's something about this doesn't seem right. Everything in the email looked perfect. Mm-hmm. And I clicked on the email address, and it was like att.12345678910 at gmail.com. And, you know, these guys are becoming so good, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before is employee training to make sure that they're noticing things like that. Because, you know, we're so click happy that we click and then we can open up Pandora's box. The issue is training the employees, giving them handbooks, constantly, you know, quarterly basis, making sure that they're, you know, doing what they need to be doing on the network. I mean, I've had clients that employees have cost them thousands of dollars and brought the company down. So you've got to really be careful when you're, I mean, it comes from everywhere. Now, SolarWinds, I don't know if you know about that, but it's an MSP company. They got hit. Well, some of their clients are government agencies in the United States. Right. And so they took a major hit. And so even top MSPs can get hit, you know, just department stores, Target, Walmart. I mean, everybody's getting hit, and it's all financial. It's all about the dollar that they can get.
Yeah, I got a message from a company that I worked for in the past, and they got hit, and you know I didn't travel internationally for them, so they didn't have my passport information. But you know, they said, hey, we got hit 2 months ago, and so they're giving us. I haven't looked at the details yet, but they're something LifeLock or something to go on.
It's Norton and LifeLock.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have really good spam filters, and either you have equipment-based or software-based inside of a company. We use GoDaddy quite a bit, and they have some really good spam filters and spam blockers and security aspects where you don't get a lot of that junk coming in. So you minimize, you know, about 80% of that junk. So you kind of cut that out, and then really, you know, we send out information on those spam type emails, and we give examples to the employees, making sure. So, you know, you just have to stay on top of it. It's 24/7.
Yeah, it's funny is I've got on my website, I've got a couple of, you know, hey, to get some information and put people into ClickFunnels. into a funnel, and the system that I use is something called GetResponse. But I get an email from GetResponse every time somebody, and I'm getting like 75 to 80 a day of people going in there. But it shows where they're. I can't believe how many people live in Isle of Man that are and Latvia, and it's
And you can filter out all those locations.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Some of them get filtered out, but I'd say about 90% of them. But the thing is I've missed one or two real ones. I'm getting so much, it's amazing how people are going there and spending so much junk into there that I've actually missed one or two real ones, and potential client or potential something there.
Yeah.
But what's the difference when you're looking at a smaller business? Like me right now, we're just two computers. Andy, you're what, 4, 5, 6
Yeah,
computers?
we're at 4 or 5
Then we're
computers.
getting to the guy you were talking about today. You're putting cables in the ceiling and the floor. Where do the small guy, tiny guys like me, where do we got to start out and head to? Where should we start?
So we try to look at everybody the same type of way, whether you're small, and you just whether you have servers, what kind of data structure you need, what kind of different employees have to access what. So you can structure that in certain different areas. Like a small business that doesn't need a server base, what you can do is start off with a NAS drive, and that's network area storage, where you have the same type of security built in. And what's great with some of these NAS drives is that they'll have, say for instance, you have 4 computers and you set up the users on the computers. Well, you open up one laptop here in this office, and then you go up to office number 2. The second you turn them on, it'll sync the data across the entire structure, so you have the same data going across, so you don't have to pick and choose and go to different data. And that's what's great about that type of solution, is that you have redundancy built into that NAS drive. Then we can start them off with OneDrive and the Microsoft Office 365 platform. But what you want to do is also look at their structure, where they're located. So just because you work out of your home, well, how much data, personal data and client data is coming in and out of that home? Well, you also have to think about, hey, Comcast or AT&T is putting a modem in there. It's not any kind of firewall, so you have to think about putting something between you and the internet to protect your client data while you're working at home. So, we go through a series of questions per size of company, and then we kind of put a plan together for you, and then moving forward, you're in that plan and you're protected.
Okay. Well, it's one of the things we were talking about before you came on is even now you're looking to switch your model, right? You're looking at different pricing structures and stuff like that. How often do organizations like yours do that, and how often does that change in the industry?
Well, what happens is I'm not looking at changing, I'm looking at adding, because currently we're a retained IT outsourcing that services versus we have service level agreement clients and we have block of time agreement clients. The MSP model is a little bit different, where you start charging per machine. And so this Friday I'm going through a seminar where they're going to train us on how to price out each machine, because it gets kind of tricky. Because say for instance you're a client, you have 100 machines, I'm charging you $100 per machine, maybe $250 per server per month, and it really has to make sense for the client. So that's why I'm going into these seminars, making sure that it's priced value for the client, but we want to make money as well. But we don't want to have to insure a lot of this stuff, because in that model, you're liable for some of those machines and that equipment. The real model is taking all their equipment out, putting your equipment in, and making sure you're putting in 100 of the same machines. Something happens, you just switch out another machine exactly like it, so you're minimizing downtime.
Oh, nice.
Gotcha.
Nice.
I mean, does that change your business model?
No, not really, because it's just another aspect. It's just an add-on.
Okay.
It's just something, the structure is, I've always done it kind of that way, but it's just a different model with added software. We're adding, we have new RMM, remote management software, so we can get all the information back from existing clients. So we have 100 machines. Well, we're getting information from those 100 machines every 5 minutes to make sure that things are happening, everything's going okay, there's no viruses, those type of things. So
No. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you know, as a business owner, right? I mean, there's a lot of us, we have to stay educated on a lot of the philosophies, processes, or whatever's going on in the world. Business brokerage doesn't change a lot. Consulting, the philosophies and process systems don't necessarily change a lot. How often are you having to re-educate yourself to stay on top of what your clients' needs?
Well, being a president of an IT company, I don't really have to, but my consultants do, and I kind of need to stay on top of them. You know, I'm constantly on the sites where any kind of new information is coming out, new technology. You're constantly learning on that. I want to get to the point where I'm just managing a really good team. I've got about 20 guys now that are really, you have to make sure that these guys are true business tech guys, because when they come to your office, they need to be able to figure out what the problem is within 15 minutes. And if they can't fix it, they have a solution for it within the next, you know, hour or so and get it done. We don't want to learn on your dime.
Right.
So,
Well, I was talking to a new client the other night, and one of the things I was talking to them is simplicity. You know, you got to keep things simple to the fact that you can go ahead and evaluate and make what you want to be, make it easy, and it needs to be simple. I think for your team internally, but it also needs to be simple for your customers. You know, we don't want them thinking a lot and worrying it, right?
some of the things we do is when we go visit a new potential client is, my deal is, I don't want you ever calling me. And to tell you the truth, I mean, you're calling us constantly. We're not doing our job. So you're turning over your complete IT department to us. And we're making sure that you don't have the ongoing headaches that you had previously. I mean, we've saved CFOs, CEOs hours during their week that they would have been struggling with current IT issues. We get that back for them. So saves them a tremendous amount of money during the month.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but it's so when you start looking at your sweet spot, so you start going into your sweet. Where does your sweet spot for your company really start, Fred?
You know, it's funny, everybody has a definition of small business, mid-sized business, and what that means to them. We like to start off with about 20 employees, and we go, there's no limit in terms of the top end. But typically a mid-sized company with 150 employees on up will have an existing IT person there. And we either work really well with them or they lose their jobs and we come in there and take their position. When you think about something like that, we're saving the client money on insurance, training, you know, having to deal with the government for that employee. So we save them a tremendous amount of money.
I mean, I just think the liability too that you save, you know, businesses like mine. I mean, there's a lot of liability in the data that we hold.
Yeah,
and I
sure.
mean, just that security is worth a lot.
Yeah, and I've been the one guy in a corporation where everything kind of fell on me, and it's a lot of pressure to make sure, and there's not a lot of training. Companies don't really want to train, and we have real world experience. We're out there every day making sure that we're seeing everything that could happen. We're seeing it and taking care of it.
Jonathan, how much longer we got in this segment, bud? 3 minutes? Okay, let's find a 3-minute segment. You know, something to talk about. But I want to get in the next segment. I really want to talk about, you know, fun stuff. You know, but I think this is fishing. Yeah, let's talk fishing.
Well,
You haven't been fishing in a long time, so.
yeah, but the one thing that we were talking about earlier is you know, we do a lot of cabling.
Yeah, that's different. Can we hit that a little bit?
Yeah.
The next segment.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about that because I think it was just like when we were at the happy hour last week, and you know, Jason Jimenez, and you know, I've known Fred for a long time. Didn't even know he did this stuff.
Sure.
And I think it's the important thing. One of the things we were talking about on another show recently was, you know, how now coming back out of the pandemic, we're able to go and actually see people again. And it's way better.
I never really stopped. I mean, I constantly, you know, you have to stay within those relationships and constantly meet with people. Zoom gets kind of old after a while.
Yeah, it does. I was talking to Cameron today and told him about the Jetsons. So, you know, we got flying cars, baby. We were close to the Jetsons. So Fred, tell people how to look at the camera and tell people how to get a hold of you. And
So you can reach us at www.nscitgroup.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and just give us a call. Our phone number is 713-974-3889 or 832-868-7614.
All right, let's take us out of here, Jonathan. We'll be back. We're going to come have some fun. So this is Michael Rage, your business guide, Andy Erickson, and Fred Costa.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, this is Alberto Tudela. The Houston metro area has experienced a substantial increase of wind and hail damage, flooding, and other perils in the last 5 years. Now more than ever, it is critical and essential to ensure your company, your property, as well as your family have the right insurance coverage. Tudela Insurance Solutions offers a wide variety of insurance for home, auto, property, as well as life insurance. My goal is to find a tailored option that guarantees the right coverage at the right price, specific to your needs, present and future, so you protect what matters the most. Call me today at 713-714-4475 and allow our team at Tudela Insurance Solutions to make sure you're protected. Accidents never happen when we expect them. Now is the time to ensure you have peace of mind.
Did you know that children and adults are spending 90% of their time indoors? Whether at home or at the office, structures are now built tighter and more energy efficient, creating toxic environments.
Indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoors. Childhood asthma has increased 600% in the last 30 years. According to the EPA, there are over 750,000 new asthma cases every year in the United States.
Poor air quality can cause headaches, snoring, fatigue, sneezing, coughing, severe allergies, and much more. Additionally, chemical pollution from cleaning products such as bleach or Lysol and also treated building materials can severely affect your health.
Tactico is an indoor air quality company that focuses on health and wellness by using revolutionary technology to clear the air of toxic indoor pollution.
Our cutting-edge, green-certified solutions remove all odors, allergens, viruses, mold, toxic chemicals, and insects to create healthy homes and workplaces. Within minutes, our military-grade products kill 99.9999% of all toxins. Our team is highly experienced and is comprised of military veterans whose mission is to provide excellent customer service to our clients. Because your safety and your health are important to us. Call Tactico today, 832-901-9979, and let us create a healthy environment so that you and your family can live pollution-free.
Hey, we're back. This is your business guide, Michael Rager, Fred Costa, Andy Erickson. Fred, all right, so we were talking a little bit in the break, and we said we're going to come back this segment and talk about this cabling. You know, as long as I've known you, we've never talked about that type of a massive project. How did NSC get into that?
Well, you know, we've been doing cabling forever, and
Okay.
that's one of our most profitable things that we do at NSC. Right now, things have changed. A lot of companies have Cat 5, moving to Cat 6, a lot of fiber work. Like I was telling you today, we quoted out a warehouse out on 100,000 square foot that needs Wi-Fi access built into the warehouse. there's so many different factors that you have to understand about the structure of that warehouse, what they're doing, the metal content, the heat content during the summer. So, we've got guys, I've got cabling managers that have been into that fiber, Cat 6 through fiber, and taking care of that for us forever. So it's very profitable.
Wow.
So are you going into, are you looking at like a lot of these new existing structures that are going on? Houston, they're building stuff like it's going out of style. Or are you going into structures that are already there?
Well,
and
a lot of times
repurposing?
it's already there, and sometimes what we can do, especially when they're switching offices or a new company's coming into that space, we can try to see what's in there, and if it doesn't work out, we can pull all that out and redo it for them. Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's all tenant based, right?
Yeah, it's how much allowances those guys give you, and what's there, and it's not feasible to do everything via Wi-Fi. So you want to make sure that you have a really good mix.
Yeah, I remember, go back to what is it, 2000-ish, when there was a lot of fiber. I remember I did some work for Williams Communications, and we were laying fiber. We laid fiber from Chicago to St. Louis, and we were bringing like fiber into Northwestern University. We were bringing it to these places, and it was just really, the actual construction of it, because that's what when I was in the pipeline side, I did that linear project. But talking to the guys that once it got to the end point, they said that's where the money was, is the guy that could sit there and look at how many fibers are in one of those little coils and some of these things.
I really like doing the ones where everything's been pulled out, and we do it from the ground up, because we can do it our way and do it the right way.
Right.
We don't like piecemealing a lot of networks. It just becomes too frustrating when you have to go in there and try to figure everything out that's existing. I've done some cabling work in Skurlock Tower where there's been 50 years worth of cabling. You can barely run a cable through some of that stuff up there. And you've seen like Coke cans from like the 60s up there, cigarettes. You got ashtray that's been sitting there since the 60s. You find a lot of stuff like that, but really, I'd rather just pull everything out and start fresh. Yeah.
But is even in a situation like that, do you even know what you'd be pulling out?
You really don't care, because if it's sitting right above, what we can track, trace everything that we're pulling. Usually what we do is start with the things that are in the office, like, the network patch panels that are on the walls.
Yeah.
We trace from there and find out where they're moving through the whole office. But then we have to go next level and find out, okay, we've traced everything there. Now we got to find out what 50 years worth of stuff is sitting up there, and a lot of the stuff's just been sitting there doing nothing.
Doing nothing?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Some of it's still powered up, and you don't know what's being powered up.
Right.
So
that's what scares me. Electricity in general, I'm not good with.
Yeah.
you got to be real careful what you're sticking your hand into. It's pretty scary. So
All right, so we got we're in the last segment, aren't we, Jonathan? Ish? We got like a long one. We got this one and one more. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure that before we got talking about fishing. So, let's talk a little fishing. Let's go back, because I know you haven't you got your boat. Keep it down on the coast. What's your go-to? What's your go-to type of fishing, Fred?
I love inshore fishing. I like fishing East Bay, West Bay. It's great because I'm kind of in the middle. I can at the yacht basin. I can go left or right, and just pretty much. I just like about 2 weeks ago, I went down by myself. I just really hadn't been fishing in about 5 months, and I was telling somebody everything kind of started and worked for the first time. I was surprised. I brought the battery down, connected it. The boat started right up. The lights were working. The bilge pump was working. I was pretty surprised, that it even started. So I was like so happy I couldn't even see straight. And then I was out there for like 12 hours just goofing around, and I didn't really catch much, but I was out there,
That's all that matters, right? It's the experience.
I go over the causeway, and everything just goes, and then just goes down, and I can smell that salt air, and just really clears my mind.
The blood pressure goes down.
Right.
The one thing I noticed on the Texas coast, I know that you said the salt air, but like it's not the same as like Florida.
No.
It's like Florida. You get to Florida, it's like it's a whole different blast of salt in your face. You know.
Well, you know, there's expectations. You know, but I mean, there's so many. I mean, you have like here in Texas, especially inside the bays. I mean, you've got 5 fish that you can really fish for.
Yeah.
You know, in Florida, it'd be like 25 fish. And you know, when you fish inshore, you can get. I mean, you can land 125-pound tarpon just under a bridge. I mean, it's crazy what you can get there
Regularly,
Yeah.
It's so. Where now? You and your son, you guys like going out fishing, man. What's your favorite fish to catch?
I love speckled trout, redfish, flounder, but usually my favorite fish to eat is speckled trout. And it's just a great fish. I love catching those 4 or 5 pounders. Flounders this past year was kind of spotty for me, but I've landed a couple, 29-inch mats. That's been pretty nice.
I did not catch one flounder in 2020.
Really?
And I tried.
I did.
I caught 2 small ones the last time I went out. They were small. They were like 15 inches, and I just didn't even want to bother.
Angelica caught one when we went flounder fishing, but it wasn't a keeper. But I mean, that was the only fish, and we tried twice last year.
Yeah.
See, I like the trout fishing when it's nonstop. You know, I went with Jim, who used to go in the cigar place, and we went one day to Louisiana, and he and another guy, Gary, between the 3 of us, we caught like 80 some. And my guide
crazy.
The guide's like, I'm so glad you were here, because if it wasn't for you, we would have caught like 20.
Yeah, they've got some really good spots, and like that Mexican Gulf Coast Fishing Company.
Oh yeah.
They've transitioned in some of that inshore stuff.
Yeah, they got a new inshore guide. I think you're gonna be bringing out a second one. Like, we're gonna try to go down there. I'm looking to book us in August. So Fred's gone with us on that trip.
Yeah, that's fun.
It was kind of fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
I like to try to set up something for Florida's like Marathon Key.
Yeah.
We rented a place. It was a condo, and the captain just drove right up to the condo and took us out. And it was amazing.
Yeah. Right now, the place we rent in Venice is a houseboat, and we don't even we were staying in the condos before. Now they just drive the boat right up to the houseboat and pick us up.
That is awesome.
It's just like the beer starts flowing the minute you get there,
Right,
and till the
It doesn't stop because nobody has to drive
anywhere. We ain't go.
No accountability besides to get from the boat to the bed.
Well, I haven't fished Florida in a long time. I used to fish Almirada all the time, and my parents lived in Florida, so whenever I went over there, I said, hey, I'm either going down to Key West or I'm going to Almirada. And I've never really fished inshore at Almirada. I always wanted to, because I've always wanted to catch a big bonefish. I mean, I caught one that was this big, and he almost pulled that $1,000 fly rod out of my hand that the guy had, and I wasn't going to
Those
chase
are powerful little fish.
I know people just don't understand how mean saltwater fish are.
Yeah.
It's
I just never have gotten used to freshwater fishing. It's just, a hole in the ground, and they put fish in there and then hope, you can. It's not really fishing, but
well, there's a guy that we're hoping to have on here in a couple of weeks. He's got a lodge. We were talking to him up on in the Northwest Territories, and he said they average in the summer something like 95 lake trout a day.
Wow.
And he says they're not really big. They're 10 to. He says you'll occasionally catch that 35, 40 pounder. He said a lot of big northern pike. And they catch a big northern pike on the flies, and then they got grayling in the stream. He said the cool part about it is that the sun only sets for like 2 hours.
Right, so you can fish.
He says I know. Like after I just spent 40 hours a week, last week.
I don't know that I want to do that
for 5 days.
The other thing, the other type fishing I really enjoyed was fishing the Klamath and the Trinity rivers up in Northern California. For salmon and steelhead. Those are just amazing fish, and some of those guys they use Macallan drift boats, and so these guys they're our size. They can hold a drift boat in place in this flowing river. Wow. And it's just amazing how they can keep you right in place, and you do this kind of back bouncing thing.
And it's
pretty
beautiful.
awesome.
It's beautiful too.
Yeah.
It's just the scenery is just gorgeous.
I want to do that, and then the only other freshwater fish is the sturgeon. That for
The
some
Snake
reason
River,
I need to go catch one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've caught one, but I've got like 3. They're all about that big. They weren't the 6-7 footers, but I did when I was growing up in Michigan. We had them on the Great Lakes, and I saw one jump. The guy had it hooked next to us, and that thing jumped out of the air like a freaking marlin.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa. And it was at least 8 foot long. And people don't realize there's fish that big in the Great Lakes. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
all across the Midwest, most of us don't think about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jonathan's giving me the eye, telling me to take everything to court. So let's go there. We're going to come back with the last segment. We'll figure out if we're going to talk technology, fishing, or fishing technology. So this is Mike Rager, your business guide. With Andy and Fred, we'll be back in a minute.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, this is Alberto Tudela. The Houston metro area has experienced a substantial increase of wind and hail damage, flooding, and other perils in the last 5 years. Now more than ever, it is critical and essential to ensure your company, your property, as well as your family have the right insurance coverage. Tudela Insurance Solutions offers a wide variety of insurance for home, auto, property, as well as life insurance. My goal is to find a tailored option that guarantees the right coverage at the right price, specific to your needs, present and future, so you protect what matters the most. Call me today at 713-714-4475 and allow our team at Tudela Insurance Solutions to make sure you're protected. Accidents never happen when we expect them. Now is the time to ensure you have peace of mind.
Did you know that children and adults are spending 90% of their time indoors? Whether at home or at the office, structures are now built tighter and more energy efficient, creating toxic environments.
Indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoors. Childhood asthma has increased 600% in the last 30 years. According to the EPA, there are over 750,000 new asthma cases every year in the United States.
Poor air quality can cause headaches, snoring, fatigue, sneezing, coughing, severe allergies, and much more. Additionally, chemical pollution from cleaning products such as bleach or Lysol and also treated building materials can severely affect your health.
Tactico is an indoor air quality company that focuses on health and wellness by using revolutionary technology to clear the air of toxic indoor pollution.
Our cutting-edge, green-certified solutions remove all odors, allergens, viruses, mold, toxic chemicals, and insects to create healthy homes and workplaces. Within minutes, our military-grade products kill 99.9999% of all toxins. Our team is highly experienced and is comprised of military veterans whose mission is to provide excellent customer service to our clients. Because your safety and your health are important to us. Call Tactico today, 832-901-9979, and let us create a healthy environment so that you and your family can live pollution-free.
All right, everybody, we're back. This is Michael Rager, your business guide, with Mr. Fred Costa and Mr. Andy Erickson. So, all right, we were talking about dream trips.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you said you want to go to Belize. All right, what do you want to catch down there? What's your
Bonefish, they have amazing snapper. I mean, it's
Really?
great.
Yeah, I caught a couple big. The coolest fish I caught down there were broomtail grouper.
Okay.
We were trolling off the reef, and then we caught some small kingfish, and we cut them up into chunks and caught mutton snapper. And we got some, big muttons.
Okay.
You were talking about Mexican Gulf Coast Fishing Company. They recently caught a 500-pound mako off of one of their boats.
Yeah,
Pretty impressive.
That's
well,
big.
Beach had the state record for a while. It was like 780, 790.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw today that somebody took the largest wahoo since like 1980.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 120 something pounds out of Venice.
Jeez.
I don't know, but the thing was monstrous.
I saw a picture where the guy was laying next to it, and it was as long as he was, and maybe that was the same one.
It could have been.
I've never seen a wahoo that big.
Yeah. Kevin Beach, who we fished with in the past, man, he has a picture of one with him on his, and he's holding it like this, and it goes a foot on each side. You know, it's just a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you talk about it, man. I had to call him the other day because I said, here's what it's something I want to ask you about, because he got hacked on Facebook. You know, somebody hacked his account. Here's the thing, like, we're getting, like, in our Facebook group we have the for those you want to join, business hunters and executives that love to fish and hunt. We've been getting not hacked, but these profiles of young girls that are trying to get in, you know, let me in, you know, because we're very selective on who will went in, and we don't let them out. But what's going on with those? You know, how does that affect somebody?
Well, one of the issues, like with my Facebook account, my professional business account, if you look at the profile, I had to remove a lot of the information that was there because somebody had put that they worked for my company and they were in India. And so I removed the profile information and just put, pertinent information out there. The problem with Facebook and a lot of these social media companies is that there's no support.
Right.
And so, I mean, if something happens to your account, you have no support.
Yeah.
You don't have a number you can call.
Right.
They ban you from something. You can't call. You can't discuss anything.
I had a post banned Sunday when I was with cleaning fish, and I put some stuff on there, and it was banned, and it said it due to child pornography, and I'm like,
well, I was banned for 30 days, and they have I'm banned for 30 days right now. So I've got,
You're in Facebook jail.
I've got about 5 more days to go. But I kept on asking them because they sent me an email, and that was the first time they've ever sent me an email. And I said, why did you ban me? Because when you look, and I took a picture of the posts that were banned, there is no picture. There is nothing on the post. So it's a failure within the system and the structure. Like Facebook, Google, you have to have some kind of support system behind it.
There's just so much data going on there. How do you really scan it?
A lot of the stuff that's on there is just a bunch of fake BS.
BS, yeah.
So you're just getting threads that are coming, and you don't even know what's real or not. So.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned, like, you get all these people that the attractive girls that you have no connections with. And it's, I've seen some, and
there's no way I'm pressing yes on that button.
And it's like, okay, there's no reason this individual wants to be connected with me, but it's connected with
3 other people I know.
Two of the old guys we know, and it's like, really, guys, you got fished.
Yeah. Somebody threw the right lure in the bait,
right?
And no, but we're seeing it a lot.
Yeah.
I know Elise brought it up the other day. I think I think that, like, out of the last 15 members that have requested to join our group, 14 of them's been that. And so no, because we go and we were asking questions to join, and we want to know that they really are who they are. And
we've had the issue with like they've created the exact same account for the CEO of our old consulting company, and they were actually posting and stuff. And
sure.
It's like there's nothing you can do because
most people just create another account and really strong passwords. 15 plus characters.
Right.
And then the other thing is, I don't even know if they have a deal on Facebook where once you go in, you can actually prove that you're not a bot. those type of things. Click the box and then pick
Yeah.
out pictures. I don't think they can do that on Facebook, or if they do, it's not very good.
Very, very good. Yeah, I remember once it was on LinkedIn. I got hit by it was former Miss America, and she was very outdoorsy, and I can't remember, she was in one group that I was in, but whoever it was hit me up on LinkedIn and started a conversation. I just went with it. It was funny.
That's another thing about LinkedIn, though, is that I've been approached by people, like they're a real company, and then they're trying to fish for information. And a lot of stuff that you have to be real careful of on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all those different groups is, those questionnaires. All they're doing is fishing for data, because if they get enough data, they can put those and piecemeal those together and figure out passwords. They can figure out security questions. So you got to be real careful.
Oh, the tests on Facebook and stuff. What character are you? What animal? No, I won't touch it. And it's my girlfriend. Please stop.
Stop.
I don't know. I don't really care that it told you that you should be a sunflower, because I already know that.
Well, it's a lot of the platforms like TikTok and the new Clubhouse. You got to be real careful that you're not jumping on these bandwagons and being the first guinea pigs to open up Pandora's box into your company or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's a really good question. I mean, what's your perception as an IT professional about TikTok? Because I don't use it. I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
I mean, Facebook is pretty much the newest thing that I've done, and I'm not going any farther.
I don't know what the deal. It's the new generation of marketing stupidity. I mean, when you think about it, people are just dancing.
Yeah.
And these people, if you get enough followers, they can make money off of this.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And it's just like, I don't have that kind of time.
Well, I read about the TikTok houses. Have you guys read about
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically TikTok owns these properties or leases these huge mansions, right? And then they house all of the TikTok stars in here, and then they get a cut of the TikTok stars' revenues for bringing them all together. And they like coach them and consult them on their It's weird. It's weird.
I'm like,
It's weird.
I've gotten into old school real quick.
yeah, I know. I just see trouble.
Right.
I just see.
10 years ago, I was more on the forefront of the new social media with our consulting company, because I was the youngest person in the organization. But now, 10 years later, I'm just like everybody else that I said, come on, like get with the new age. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I'm 53, and I'm like the old man in the club. I don't want to get on these sites with all these little girls and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No.
Yeah, I'm 55, and Jason was talking to me about getting on the Clubhouse and how he likes it. I got a couple clients that are really liking Clubhouse, and I waste enough time as it is.
Yeah.
That's what scares me about something like that. If I can monetize it really, and I know how I can monetize it good, but if not, I don't know. I'm not that smart when it comes to technology.
Well, there's only, you've got LinkedIn for Business, and you've got all the other ones that kind of say they have an aspect of business promotions, like Facebook. You can put your business page on there, but when you think about it, how can you really track, what's coming out of that?
I knew. I got 2 clients from LinkedIn. I did 2.
Yeah.
And
but how much
revenue?
How much? No, well, how much have you put into it?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got paid like about a penny a minute.
Yeah.
I'm really, I guess I'm starting to sound like the old man when I'm out talking to people, but I see social media as the most antisocial thing in the world, because a lot of people, there really is no social behind it, and people just, they act like idiots.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, but I haven't really made money from it. I've been approached by people that, hey, I got this stuff. I had a guy last year, we were doing stuff, and hey, we're gonna do your post, and we got this AI, and we got this, and we got this. And that's when we started that engagement pod that we never did anything with. But he's like, well, man, this is great. And I go, what, dude? I'm paying you money and nothing's happening. My phone's not ringing.
Well, that's like with a lot of the SEO stuff.
Yeah.
I have an Indian company doing my SEO, and I was telling you, this is the job that I got out for that 100 square foot or 100,000 square foot facility came through the SEO, and I was like, I haven't had a job through my website in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
guys.
awesome.
We got a minute to light up. So, Fred, if you're going to give one piece of advice, tech going forward into 2021, what's it going to be for you?
Create an assessment. Make sure that your existing provider is up to par on what they're doing. Make sure you're asking them questions. Cybersecurity. Not every IT outsourcing company is a cybersecurity company. So if you have to bring in another company to do the assessment for cyber, do it. People just want to get into your company and steal what you have. Take care of yourself.
All right, Andy, anything you want to share?
Well, yeah. Check your battery terminals, before you go fishing. make sure there's no corrosion on
There's
them.
no corrosion.
And then also use non-ethanol fuel.
Oh, God.
All right, man. Well, I can thank you for that to wrap us up, man. This is Michael Rager, your business guy. Check us out, teachyourbusinesstofish.com. Go to our Facebook group, business owners and executives that love to fish and hunt. Come fishing with us, man. That's what it's all about. We're going to go talk business and, come on the show. You go out there, you have a great week. We'll see you next week.